You may wonder, how can I help preserve the cherry trees? They do not last forever. There are several ways. There is called the Cherry Tree Replacement Fund, and that is found here in Washington, D.C., and that is part of our partnerships office. You can contribute money for that, and that is very important. But there are other ways that you can do it in a more practical way. For example, notice where I am standing. I am trying to avoid the roots. If we walk on the tree roots, it does damage to the trees. And in fact, the tree roots do not go very deeply under the soil, and so it's good to stay away from them, and also not to just go right up to the roots, even if you are on the grass. One way that is very difficult, one thing that is very difficult to avoid is to climb the trees. If you're like me, when you were a kid, you climbed trees. It's the most natural thing in the world. But we ask that you don't, because it can stress the tree. And supposing maybe the heel of your shoe scrapes the bark, then that opens up the tree to insects, perhaps disease, and that can cause a problem as well. So that we ask you that you do not climb the cherry tree or cherry trees. I want you to notice something, please. Notice these blossoms. They're not on any branches. They're not on any twigs. They're just growing out of the tree trunk. And you think, isn't that odd? You're absolutely right. That is not normal. The tree is stressed. Maybe because of the climbing of the trees. We have 1.5 million visitors maybe every year. So that does not help. So we ask that you do not pick off any of the blossoms. If you or I were to do that, those blossoms at that point would never grow back there again. Also, obviously, if you were to break off a branch or a twig, it looks very nice, but it does damage to the tree. And you might think, well, I got the branch from the ground. And I've heard that more than once, and that's wonderful if it were gotten from the ground. But a couple things. First of all, it's government property. But also, if you got it from the ground, other people might see you with the branch. They might think it must be okay to break off a branch, a twig, a blossom. So we ask you, please help us in preserving these trees for your generation and future generations to enjoy. We thank you so much.